Well, I mean, we were definitely going for a bit of that like 1967 AM radio one-hit wonder vibe. Obviously Motown Stax, Gamble and Huff, all that kind of stuff is very influential to the sound of what we're doing. To me, that's my favorite period of songwriting ever, and it's also my favorite period of the way records sounded. I don't think anything compares to that period. So when we were starting this, the objective was like, can we just capture even, just a little bit of what's happening in those records, and I think in the end we worked really, really hard on it, and listening back to it, we're all pretty proud of the way that it turned out. Well, sometimes you are gifted or acquire an instrument that is truly an inspiration. It's just got so much personality to it, and I acquired this organ, and I turned it on, and anything I played on, it's like, well, that's a song, and that's a song, and had this thing in my living room, and it's this massive old 60s organ, takes up about half the living room, started playing, and had one of those moments where it just wrote a song by itself, almost from start to finish. Breaking the Chains of Love was written in 5 minutes. I'm still waiting for one of those magical moments to happen again, to strike again, but in that moment, for myself as a vocalist, I finally found my true nature, my true comfortable place as a vocalist, was something that made me feel truly authentic. And I knew a couple things. One, we wanted to have a horn section in there. Secondly, that we needed another amazing female vocalist to do harmonies and counterpoint. And thirdly, that we were going to make a band that had no guitars. And that song set the compass for the band and where we were going to go in the direction of it. Usually it's quite difficult. You can go through a quite long process of weeding out freaks and just troublemakers or whatever. But this was one of those circumstances, and has been sort of the modus operandi for this band, is that, we made 5 phone calls, and that's pretty much the band you see today. We went in and had one rehearsal, and it was just electric from the first downbeat. We probably could have played a show that night. And I'm a big believer that even before you're ready, you just book a show. We didn't even have enough songs to do a show, but, you book it and you figure out a way. Nobody wants to fall on their face. And it's, each person in this band is a true talent and in their own right. And there's something that happens when the 6 of us get together. It's that thing of like the sum total is truly greatest than any part, And for me, it's an incredible blessing to play with such amazing musicians, and fills me with so much confidence. Well, the guy I've known for the longest in the band is James King, a true, can I say badass on this? He is an incredible player, also one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. And he's the first guy that I brought in when we had the first couple recordings. And he quickly turned me on to Noel Skaggs, who is an incredible singer and performer and has worked with tons of other artists like Dilated Peoples and Black Eyed Peas. And then Joe Carnes is an amazing bass player. He also plays in another band called Pedestrian. John Wick's on drums, and he's done sessions for CeeLo and Bruno Mars and everybody in the likes. And then finally we have Jeremy Razumna, who used to be the keyboard player for Macy Gray. So, everybody in this band, and James used to play for Big Daddy Kane and De La and stuff like that. So, everybody has their pedigree for sure. We actually just did, a session that comes to mind is we just did a session not too long ago. We've been on the road so much that we've been sort of forced to just at sound checks here and there throw around little ideas, and somebody records them with their phone. And we finally had the chance a couple of months ago to go back into the studio and work on some of those ideas, and just to have that creative flow where everyone was just riffing on ideas and jamming was really inspirational. John, our drummer, had brought this amazing drum loop that he had made at home in his garage that was just the classic soul sound. I mean, he stays up late at night trying to figure out just that like perfect sound. And that inspired a whole idea. And then we all wrote this one together that I think will probably be one of the strongest songs on the next record too. So when you have more than one person in the room, it's always easier to flow with ideas and be creative. You never get stopped by your own limitations or your own box. So it just keeps riffing, and you can just, I think in that day we laid down, good 4 or 5 templates for new songs for the next record.